like what's the point of slow disable, right? Because if the I mean, you say like the flamethrower, it's absolute the disable if you keep the fire on, but the same can be said of an Artemis. Like the Artemis is going to reload, it's going to have another clip by the time you're getting those disabled guns back up. So it's sort of the same effect. Obviously, the Artemis's gun arcs are a little trickier. Flamethrower, it's easier, but you know, come on, Artemis is a much better weapon.
Well, either way, they have a lot of disable on that ship. Let's go ahead and go through the ships. First up, for the Starbards, we have the Lancer, a galleon being piloted by Slice and Dice, once again bringing the Brawling with Hwacha and carrying it on the port side and a Gatling on top. On the other side, Minotaur and Hwacha with a flare on the back. They're also bringing the Duck Duck Goose, once again. A Goldfish being piloted by Nano Duckling. Heavy carronaded on the front with a Flamethrower on the port side and a Banshee on the starboard.
And on the blue team, we have the MadHatters. Their first ship, Thunderstruck, piloted by Rhythm Rogue. It is a Gat Mortar Pyramidion left side light carronade flare, and their ally, the Carrot Face Roll, another Pyramidion with a light carronade Artemis front side, and an AI? With the left side flamethrower and flare gun, and buffed engines. Always like to see buffed engines.
Buffed engines on a Pyramidion are kind of necessary, especially in Peryton Rumble, because it's not so much the top speed you need, it's the acceleration. You need to be able to accelerate really fast in a Pyramidion in Peryton Rumble, because you don't have any space to build up momentum.
Well, and also the turning acceleration is very important as well.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Looks like Starbard's deciding to take up a kind of an Overwatch position in center map. This is something we see a lot of teams do. Blue team going the other side, going low, kind of skulking through the streets. Lancer sees them, actually takes off a pot shot with the heavy carronade.
Yeah, I saw that. So they see each other, they know the general area of one another, and now the question is, will the Starbards run themselves onto the blade? Or wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I talking about? Yeah, this is... will they run themselves onto the blade of the Starbards? The MadHatters do that. Oh my god,
looks
I'm
like
getting confused.
what we're seeing from the MadHatters right now, they're being careful. They're kind of circling around. They don't want to charge right in. They want to find a good angle to come in at. This is very smart. So I don't think we're going to see the kind of some of the brash play we saw against the beginning of the last game from the Centurions, where they're just sort of charging in without abandon. Like you see Carrot Face Roll, they're just going to peek out a little bit, see where the red team is positioned, get a few spots.
Spots down. Starbards have got to be panicking right now. First Artemis shot comes in. Thunderstruck going to come in low. Looks a lot like what we were seeing before. Metamidian down low. Carronade up high. Carrot Face Roll coming in very hard. Lancer rising up. Hwacha goes out. Is able to disable anything. Nothing.
Ooh,
nothing comes from that Hwacha.
Thunderstruck's going really low. Perhaps too low.
Yeah.
They're not gonna contribute to this fight for a little bit here.
That botched Hwacha was a huge opportunity for the MadHatters, but the Thunderstruck was too low to take immediate advantage of it, but here we go. They're able to rise up. They're slowly drifting in. Mortar doing a ton of damage, and they do get the kill. Flamethrower going out on the Duck Duck Goose, and that should... Nah, it's not going to do a whole lot. The Carrot Face Roll is being forced to back up. They need the armor up, though, or else the Carronade is going to finish them off. Armor comes back up. Thunderstruck going to rip into them. Carrot Face Roll is barely going to survive, as it is covered in the remains of the Duck Duck Goose.
See, now this, I think, this might be a situation where you kill your ship, because especially like when you're going into these kind of like where you're the aggressive, like the MadHatters are the aggressive team in this scenario, because the Lancer, it's slower, it can't really pursue the Pyramidian, so it's going to be up to the MadHatters to kind of push in and find that angle of attack. But when you're just at that sliver of health, like you need that armor to stay alive during the charge. If you die during the charge, that's going to lead to a full team wipe. So I think, I don't know how many teams actually use this technique in competitive matches, but I've seen some. Killing your ship can be a viable tactic because that having full health is so important.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe there should be like a new mechanic that brings your ship up to like maybe a third permahull if you're beneath it, like some way to bring it back up, just not to full, but to like a third or maybe even less.
It'll just be like Air Buccaneers will have a new tool that's like the magic stick, and everyone surrounds the whole armor and clicks it and gains health forever, so you can never be killed.
I think it would be underpowered if you made it a new tool, but I think if there was some way to
If it was a
bring it
pilot
back
tool,
up.
perhaps.
Maybe a pilot tool, I could see that as a possibility. I don't think it would be worth a tool slot, honestly. I think the piloting tools are generally too important, but just like maybe whacking a full armor with a spanner will slowly bring the hull up or something.
Or like if you're out of combat for a certain amount of time, you just regen back up to 30%.
I don't know about that. I think that a crew would have to actually think about doing that. They'd have to perform some action.
That just seems tedious, though. I mean, like, it's not like they're in a fight right now. You wouldn't be able to do that in a fight regardless because, I mean, it would just keep the hull on cooldown, so it might as well be automatic if they decide to add it. Because, like, it's like they're not doing anything else here. There's one guy buffing engines and balloon, and that's about it.
Maybe. I think if it were a tool, though, nobody would take it.
Although, I mean, the buff hammer sort of works that way. I mean, that is just kind of bonus health that you can add at any time.
Kind of. I mean, you can lose it in the middle of a fight, though, and it's something that you can reapply. And I think that I think that the buffs are worth more than regenning health, except in these little these circumstances, which honestly don't come up nearly as often as needing a buff, which is always. Anyway, prospective mechanics aside, MadHatters working their way just south of the Watch Over Daedalus. Spock goes out on the carrot face roll.
Yeah, the Hatters are just going to fly right past. They don't they don't want to engage in any situation where they have a disadvantage. So they're just totally content to keep going, go behind some more buildings, and try again.
Mm-hmm. Carrot face roll and Thunderstruck. Out low, Duck Goose thinking about coming in here, but it's not going to have the support of the Lancer if it does, unless the Lancer goes in along with it.
I think they're just looking for spots, probably.
Yeah, they see the Thunderstruck moving around. They know that the MadHatter's flank, they should suspect that the MadHatter's flank is coming in. The Lancer faces... if I were the Lancer, I'd face straight down the middle and prepare myself for an attack from either side.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it. Blue team getting a little split up here. Thunderstruck kind of maybe getting a little antsy, poking up ahead. It's definitely going to be important that Duck Goose is able, if the Mad Hatters manage to come in at one of the Lancer's blind angles, it's going to be up to the Duck Goose to engage very quickly and take at least one of the Pyramidians out of the fight. I guess. So I'm kind of trying to think here. If both these Pyramidians engage, which one would be the more prominent to knock out? The Gat Mortar or the Light Carronade Artemis? Which one's the bigger threat?
The Light Carronade Artemis, in my opinion, is necessary to make an engagement on either of these ships. Gat Mortar is one of those ships that it's kind of a mainstay, but as time's gone on, teams have learned how to deal with it because they've seen it so much, and it's gotten nerfed. So a Gat Mortar usually takes way too long to actually get a kill and gets disabled. So the Carronade Artemis is the scarier combination for them because as soon as it gets the disable, the Gat Mortar can come in and clean up.
And it looks like MadHatter is just slowly approaching the red team's position. Duck Goose very high, trying to keep that good viewing angles. But they do see the blue team, and they're going to drop down and engage.
Kara face roll, eating a Hwacha to the face roll. Gatling going to go down as well. All it will take is a little bit of damage, and there it is. Thunderstruck needs to get out of here now. Turn around, back up. Okay, it's going to go underneath and try to run past. And it should be able to do it. Lancer bumps against a building, can't go any lower. Thunderstruck is just eating a little bit of flamethrower here. Engines almost burning out. They lose their balloon and they're very low to the ground. They could bounce and lose all their momentum here. They bounce up. They don't lose their momentum, and they may be able to turn around this corner, but they carry that momentum on too long.
Oh man, just a beautiful chase by the Duck Goose.
Crunch!
Ooh!
Flamethrower even going out as well. The Thunderstruck is in a huge amount of trouble.
The Lancer wants in on the fun too.
Watcha! Very effective. Brings down all 3 engines on the Thunderstruck. I think this is all she wrote. 2-2.
Now just imagine how, at the beginning of that engagement, it seemed like the Mad Hatters had a good angle on the Galleon. Duck Goose was a little high. They weren't able to engage immediately. But because the Carrot Face Roll was on pixel health, they just died so quickly, and then just immediately the momentum shifted in favor of the Starbards. Like, just imagine if they had gone into that with full health. I think it would have gone in perhaps in the Mad Hatter's favor.
As it stands, though, no permahull damage going out on the side of the Starbards. This is just 2-2. It scores completely even. Hulls completely even. We're back to square one. But the square one has been moved up a couple feet.
What?
It's completely even. This next engagement is going to be 100%
right.
even.
Never mind.
Okay.
I was following the square one analogy or metaphor or whatever. Hey guys, did I mention I'm sick? That's my go-to excuse for any me stumbling over my words all night.
You know what? That didn't make any sense anyway, so it's fine.
I just think whenever someone says back to square one, I think of that Yu-Gi-Oh spell card.
Which one?
Well, okay, all right. If we're going to go into Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge here,
I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right. Well, hopefully it's a spell card. When you play it, you discard 1 card from your hand, and then you target 1 card on the opponent's side of the field, and you put it on top of their deck. So it's very versatile as kind of it's expensive, but it's kind of your catch-all because it can answer any type of card, and also sets back the tempo of your opponent. Also, I would like to mention that I have not played Yu-Gi-Oh in many years. That I only know this because it's a very old, it's like a 12-year-old card.
Gotcha.
So don't get me started on all this XYZ Eternal Dragon nonsense. Whatever's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, I don't understand any of it. The rules are crazy. I don't get it.
So right now, the Mad Hatters are being really, really careful. They're going low and slow. They really want to use these clouds. They know that the Lancer is not very interested in using its flare. Interestingly enough, the Starbards, I think, want to try to get the jump on the Mad Hatters rather than try and stop any aggression.
Yeah, it's sort of... I wouldn't say it's a complete role reversal from the beginning of the match. Maybe a positioning reversal with now Starbard circling around and Mad Hatter's taking up center position. Although Mad Hatter's electing to stay low, they value the element of surprise more than any potential visibility they would gain from maintaining a high altitude.
Sorry, I'm just so interested by the Lancer. They have Lady Gaga and an elf on their ship. It's intriguing. So,
which one is Lady Gaga?
Bumadub.
Oh, yeah, that's,
It's steampunk
Muse
Lady
has
Gaga.
certainly made some interesting choices in the cosmetic skins they've added to the game.
I like. Alright, 6 minutes remaining on the timer.
Yeah, and it certainly seems like this match might go to time. Is important to note, there is no overtime this week. There is a hard 20-minute limit on each of these best-of-1 games.
Okay.
Another rule that's being tested out this week.
What happens if we hit 20 minutes and it's a tie?
I think it's a coin flip.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe
Whoops, whoops, whoops.
someone can verify. Yeah, both these teams just continuing to circle around the map. Looks like the Mad Hatters have almost taken up roost in the southwest corner. And then they're just going to continue their circling. Starbard's actually taking a beeline straight to center map, kind of taking the Eastern Railroad track, as it were.
If this game goes... If this game goes to a coin flip, I'll do it live on camera.
Okay, according to our one of our referees, the team that if it ends on a tie, the team that got the first kill takes the game.
Gotcha. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Okay,
But we do have them engaging.
Yep. Lancer coming in, trying to get the port side in, but I don't think they have arcs on their guns, and the balloon's going to get popped immediately. Lancer already begins dropping to the ground. Thunderstruck going to load Gatling into the balloon, but it's going straight into the hole. Census down. Lancer already eating damage. Armor comes up very quickly, and the Duck Duck Goose is on the other side of a building. It can't assist the Lancer.
Yeah, Duck Duck Goose got scared and took a bad retreat path, actually just completely separating themselves from the fight and leaving their ally completely alone. Ooh, just a questionable decision. Maybe not, I don't know, having maybe a lack of map knowledge, not really realizing that path would leave them stranded.
Yeah, maybe not. That I think was just the captains not being totally in sync. You can't be that separated from one another at all, especially if you don't have buffs up. In fact, there's no buff hammer. No buff hammer at all on the Duck Duck Goose. That limits their mobility a lot.
Well, this is certainly not a real duck ship then if it doesn't have it doesn't have any buff hammers. That's for sure. Oh, Lancer actually MadHatter is identifying the Lancer's spawn and singling them out. Duck Duck Goose is going to have an opportunity to come behind the Hatters here, but they're going to have to. They only have precious few seconds to make it count.
Lancer maybe in trouble. Gat, Caro able to disable it quite well. Duck Duck Goose coming around from behind though. Watcher goes out on the Thunderstruck, but the mortar is still there. Lancer gets taken very low, but the Thunderstruck down to about a third. Banshee trying to lay down a little damage. Armor comes up just in time. Carrot face roll able to take out the Carronade. Did they? No. It looked like the Artemis was able to do it, but they got the repair on it just in time. Duck Duck Goose continuing to drop down. It wants the Thunderstruck. Flares come out. They land into the Thunderstruck's balloon. No, that's the armor. And the balloon. Balloon's down. Armor not looking great, getting burnt away, and they don't have an extinguisher. Thunderstruck will drop to the Duck Duck Goose. It looks like if the Carronade can just get another shot or two in. There it goes. 3 for 3. But now the Carrot face roll is all alone, stuck on a building. Well, not really stuck, it just bumped. But the Duck Duck Goose has a very big opportunity to come around behind the Carrot face roll and take out the engines. Watcher comes out. Are they going to be able to disable? Yeah, they get the Carronade and the Artemis.
Yeah, I feel like this is an opportunity. I mean, this is a situation where Carrot face roll needs to disengage. I mean, for all the things that are wrong with the close-range Galleon, one thing it is tanky, and a Pyramidian versus Galleon, the Pyramidian's going to have a lot of difficulty killing them quickly. And the Duck Duck Goose is, once they've now gotten their engines back up, they're going to re-engage as we engage at the slowest speed possible as the server freezes. I think the server...
1 minute remaining. If they can get the kill on the Carrot. Oh, God. Really? Of all the... Uh-oh. We lost hers.
Yeah,
all right.
Sorry, my game froze.
You back in?
No.
30 seconds left. Slow-mo's gonna make this really scary. Carrot face roll hits stuff. I think we're back into regular time, and the Carrot's grinding up against a building. Duck, duck, goose. If they can get the carronade into the balloon, that'll be it, I think. Armor grinding down. Gatling gonna take care of it, and they get the kill. That's it. That's it.
Tell me, who won? I don't know.
The Starbards won by 1 point. Time over.
Yeah, I just saw the slow-mo kick in, and it kept getting slower, and then it just stopped completely for me. So I think I just got disconnected from the server right as the slow-mo kicked in.
Oh, okay. Jen's a little bit salty over that, understandably.
Yeah, Carrot, you know, I guess... Let's see, it was, Starbard's got the first kill in the match. I forget. I don't know. I feel like maybe the MadHatters were afraid of the tie scenario because they weren't sure how that would, what the rule was. So they decided to stay in and try to engage, but they really, the Carrotfacial really should have just ducked out of there at the end and tried to stay alive, because they basically just handed that kill over to the red team.